The crowd in Minneapolis was still buzzing, the ring ropes were still trembling, and the World Heavyweight Championship was still firmly in Roman Reigns' grasp. But something else lingered in that ring, something far heavier than any title. An era was ending. The Shield, the most dominant faction of a generation, was about to take its final bow. And in that moment, everything Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had built, broken, and rebuilt over 12 years came down to a single fist bump. But here's the catch: Jon Moxley wasn't there. Or was he? His presence was felt in every move, every word, and every silent gesture. Before we dive into what really happened after that epic main event, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Wrestle Breakdown. For over a decade, the shadow of the Shield has loomed over WWE. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, and AEW were supposed to be brothers for life. But brotherhood in wrestling is complicated. Betrayal, ego, and championship gold tore them apart. And for years, fans have wondered, could they ever find peace? Could they ever stand together again, even just for one moment? The answer came at SummerSlam 2026, but not in the way anyone expected. Roman and Seth were billed for one final war, a last time ever clash that would settle once and for all who the better man was. But the ghost of their third brother refused to stay buried. The match itself was an instant classic, 33 minutes of pure, unfiltered violence. Seth Rollins walked out wearing his old Shield mask, a chilling callback to their origin. During the fight, Rollins hit Roman with the lunatic lariat, Jon Moxley's signature move. And Roman fired back with Dirty Deeds, the very finisher that Dean Ambrose made famous. Michael Cole even acknowledged it on commentary, naming Dean Ambrose for the first time in years. But the most telling moment came when Roman had Seth down, steel chair in hand, poised to reenact the betrayal that shattered the Shield in 2014. He paused. He thought better of it. He threw the chair away. Roman later explained, "Do what I tell my sons, what I tell my daughter, learn from your mistakes." It's time that we all grow up emotionally. In that single act, Roman Reigns chose forgiveness over revenge. He chose growth over grievance. And in doing so, he opened the door for something far more powerful. After 3 crushing spears, Roman Reigns pinned Seth Rollins to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. But the match was never really about the title. As the two men lay exhausted in the center of the ring, the entire US Bank Stadium fell silent. Then, Rollins took off his Shield mask and placed it on the mat. He looked at Roman. Roman looked back. And then, in a moment that will be replayed for decades, they raised their fists and hit the iconic Shield fist bump one last time. But here's where it gets interesting. After the show, Roman Reigns sat down with Jackie Redmond and delivered what can only be described as Jon Moxley's final message delivered through Roman's own words. Roman said, "It's always been me and you. Since FCW, since Red Rooster was bitching at us, it's always been me and Seth. It's always been the two of us." Then came the part that cut deep. Roman continued, "Even in the Shield, we knew Ambrose was a wild hair, but we knew we were the guys that were gonna change this place. We're the pioneers of this place. When people left, when people were scared, when they ran off, we held the fort down." Called it a dig at Moxley. Others saw it as a bitter truth, a reminder that while Moxley chose to walk away to AEW, Roman and Seth stayed and carried WWE on their backs. But here's the thing about brothers: even when they're apart, even when they choose different paths, the bond never truly breaks. And Moxley, wherever he was, watching from afar, surely understood that this wasn't an insult. It was a tribute. It was acknowledgement. It was a final message that said, "We remember you. We always will." The Shield story didn't end with a betrayal. It didn't end with a championship. It ended with respect. It ended with two men, once enemies, standing side by side, honoring the brother who couldn't be there. That fist bump wasn't just for Roman and Seth, it was for Jon Moxley too. It was for every fan who ever donned a Shield vest, who ever raised 3 fingers to the sky, who ever believed that brotherhood could survive anything. And as the show went off the air, Roman Reigns picked up that Shield mask, held it close, and walked away not as the tribal chief, not as the OTC, but as a man who had finally made peace with his past. So here's the question I leave you with: is the Shield really over? Or is this just the end of one chapter and the beginning of another? Jon Moxley is locked into AEW until at least October 2027, but in wrestling, never say never. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every turn, and every emotional moment that professional wrestling has to offer, you need to be part of the Wrestle Breakdown family.